What's going on YouTube? My name is Zach with Android Digest, and today I want to take another look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8, and I want to revisit it and I want to review it for you today and let you know if it's still worth buying in 2022. So with all that being said, let's get right into it. So the Tab S8, it retailed for $699. That's for the 128 gigabytes of storage. And if you look at the Tab S8, it does look very similar to the Tab S7. If you look at the design of the Tab S8, you are going to notice a fingerprint sensor in the power button. You're also going to notice those dual speakers. You're going to notice that aluminum frame is going to look very, very similar. And even the bezels, it's going to have the same screen size. And if you try to fit a case from the Tab S7, and if you try to fit it on a Tab S8, it will fit. And the keyboard case from the Tab S7 does work on the Tab S8 as well. So honestly, there's a lot of similarities between the Tab S7 and the Tab S8, but the Tab S8 has made minor refinements to really improve the device. They did change the material just a little bit to make it a little more durable on the Tab S8, so that is a very welcome part of the design, and I do notice ever so slight differences between the Tab S8 and the Tab S7 as far as the feel of the device, and you still get that SD card slot, so there's a lot to love about the design. But the Tab S8 does stand out from the competition in a lot of other ways. You have to remember that there's not a lot of Android tablets that are 11 inches in size or less. A lot of Android tablets are getting bigger and bigger, and even the mid-range market in Android tablet world, it doesn't really exist anymore. At least in the US, there aren't a lot of good tablet options between $3 and $5 or $3 and $600. And Samsung is really differentiating themselves in a lot of ways because the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 and the Tab S8 series of tablets, they all get 4 years of big operating system updates. So if you look at the Tab S7, it's only going to get one more operating system update, at least from what I've seen, so it will get Android 13, but I wouldn't expect anything outside of that. But the Tab S8, on the other hand, is going to get Android 13, 14, 15, and even Android 16, so you're going to get a lot of support on that Tab S8. But if you're not even considering the Tab S7, and if you're just looking at a tablet today, the Tab S8 really differentiates itself first off with portability. This device is still very portable, it is still pretty lightweight. Now if you have something like the Tab S3 for example, I get those older tablets, they are going to be lighter. But if you do have something like the Tab S8 Ultra, that device is ridiculous and a lot of people are flocking to that device. They thought it would be the savior of tablets, the savior of Android tablets because it's so darn big, but in reality it's really hard to carry around a 14 or a 15-inch tablet. So a lot of you might prefer this 11-inch form factor. Now the keyboard is a little more crammed on this form factor, I do understand that, but outside of that, if you don't get the keyboard, or let's say you get a Bluetooth keyboard on the side, the Tab S8 is great for portability and a lot of you might prefer that. Now another thing that differentiates the Tab S8 really is just the minor compromises that it makes. The Tab S8 Plus, for example, it does have an OLED screen. The Tab S8 Ultra has an OLED screen. The regular Tab S8 does not. It does have a 120Hz screen with a great resolution. In fact, the Tab S8 is a little bit brighter than the Tab S8 Plus, but there's also a little bit of a larger response time on the screen. So some people might be able to notice a little bit more lag on something like the S Pen, but honestly, when you look at the Tab S8, you are going to see these minor compromises, and you will have to ask yourself, can I deal with these compromises? The Tab S8 does have an absolutely beautiful screen. Again, it has a 2560 by 1600 resolution, but it doesn't have OLED, so the blacks won't be quite as black on the screen. Of course, the color accuracy might not be quite as good, so that means the colors might not look quite as accurate, but at the same time, I don't think your average person is going to notice. The response time on the S Pen, I'm telling you, your average person is not going to notice. If you look at me actually using the S Pen, you'll see how fluid it is. It doesn't really look that bad, and when I looked at the Tab S8 Plus, I just didn't see a large difference. If you would prefer a lighter and more portable device, you're definitely going to prefer the Tab S8 over the Tab S8 Ultra, because if you look at performance, this device still flies, it does perform great. This device still has Samsung DeX, so you have a lot of great options for productivity. The multitasking is still very good on the Tab S8. You could open up 3 different apps at the same time. You could actually move around the different windows. You could have pop-up windows, for example. There's all types of things you could do with multitasking on this tablet. This tablet is so responsive with that at 120 Hz. This does have a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor, and it's going to be more than fast enough for most people. You're going to be able to game on very high settings, and I know I'm not the most demanding gaming user, but this was able to play all the games I wanted it to play no problem on higher settings. The S Pen is great. The display is absolutely beautiful. I'm telling you, it's absolutely gorgeous. You don't have to worry about burn-in. I know a lot of people could burn images into their screen, so there are some benefits to getting a non-OLED screen. And when you look at even battery life, this has just over 8,000 milliamps in the battery. I know the battery size is a little bit smaller than the Tab S8 Plus or the S8 Ultra, but this also is powering a smaller screen that isn't OLED. So in that way, it will make up for the battery life, and you'll get very similar battery life to the Tab S8 Plus, and the battery life is going to be very good. So honestly, my thoughts on the Tab S8, they really haven't changed a lot over time. The Tab S8 is still a great tablet, and it's a terrific value if you could deal with some minor compromises. If you get the Samsung keyboard, whether it's the detachable version or whether it's the slim keyboard, you have to remember that the keyboard is going to be very crammed. It's going to be a lot smaller because it's trying to fit a 11-inch form factor. So if you're someone who wants to get the Samsung branded keyboard, that's one compromise. And some of you want a larger tablet, and if that's the case, if you want a 12 or a 13-inch tablet, I think you might be looking at the wrong tablet here. You might just want to get a tablet with a larger screen size. And if you want a good budget-friendly tablet, a good budget option, you might want to look at something like the Galaxy Tab S7 FE. At least that tablet will have the larger screen size. You'll just have to sacrifice that refresh rate. But if you're out there and you're looking for a good bargain, if you're looking for a tablet that's good and lightweight and portable, but a tablet with a lot of power, the Tab S8 is still a terrific option in 2022. They've made minor improvements. You can now open more than one Chrome tab at the same time, and that's something you couldn't do in Samsung DeX before. It's something you couldn't do when you were multitasking before. So they made little improvements through the software like that. But honestly, they didn't really need to improve a lot. The formula was right there all along, and if you have a Tab S8, I think you should enjoy it. It is a great tablet worth buying. If you're out there and you're wanting a smaller tablet, or if you're out there looking to upgrade, I do think that the Tab S8 is still a good tablet to consider. Great performance, great screen, maybe not OLED, but still absolutely great. You get an S Pen with it. Also, the tablet does fit older cases, so I'm sure you could find some good deals on cases from the Tab S7. It's a lot more durable now. You've got the fingerprint sensor, which is very accurate. So much to like in the Tab S8, and that's why I would highly recommend it in 2022. So feel free to check those links in the description. That is one way you can support my channel. But honestly, I just want to help you out, so feel free to leave a comment down below if you have any questions. And if you want to help me out a little more, feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel. That would mean a lot. So I hope you have a great day, and honestly, I hope you really enjoy your week.